I was walking through the mall, something I like to do at least once a week. I like to visit the Barnes and Noble bookstore to drink coffee, and they let me read magazines for free. I like to look at women. I stop in the novelty shops and read all the latest t-shirts. I was stopped in the Hot Topic. It's a goth place that carries a lot of cool t-shirts. Whenever I go in there, they come over and offer me assistance. I guess they think I must be lost if I'm in there. I just like to look around in there. If I'd had money when I was young and Hot Topic had been around then, I might have been a goth. If I tried these days, I'd just look creepy. I'm too young to be the butler from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I'm too old for everything else. Anyway, I'm checking the place out, reading the t-shirts and looking at the vampire stuff, the chains and stuff. They had some actual record players. Some witless techie types are trying to bring back analog. Then I saw the boots. I love goth footwear. Whether it's Keds, Converse Chucks, or knee-high boots, I just love the goth footwear. Just then one of the shop girls comes over to help me out. "Can I help you?" She was all dressed up in a goth outfit with orange and purple hair. Kind of pretty really, but definitely dressing for the shock value. I smiled, pointed to a knee lace-up with 9-inch heels and said, "Just wondering what it's like to have a pair of these walking on my back." I figured I could get away with trying to shock her right back. "It's not as if we had any friends in common." "It would probably hurt," she answered. "You say that like it's a bad thing." It was from one of the t-shirts that I just read. I turned my attention to the chains, leather bracelets, and stuff. "You ever have anyone tie you up?" she asked. Okay, she won. I'm shocked. Now I have to concentrate on my breathing or I'm going to embarrass myself with an uncontrolled erection. No, not really. I mean, no. Shit. I know I'm turning red. Have you ever wanted to be tied up, that is? She's closing in for the kill. Trying to be cool, I stare up as if thinking about it. Then answer, I'd be afraid someone would think I'm being too selfish. Good save. Not necessarily. Some people like it. They like to be in charge. She was speaking hypothetically. Do people who wear boots like that like to be in charge? I said. I was beginning to wonder if it was in the coffee I'd had. I like to wear boots like that. I'd like to see you in boots like that. She smiled at the compliment. But then you might want me to walk on your back. Oh yes, I would want you to walk on my back. Damn, I was channeling Commander Riker from Star Trek, TNG. Too bad, I don't have a pair of boots like that. Uh-oh, don't you have them in your size? We do, but they're expensive. Do you get an employee discount? Yes, but they're still too expensive. For me, I mean. But not for me. Let me buy them for you. No, I didn't mean that. It would be my pleasure. I said it as if I meant it. I didn't mean it. I'd buy her the boots just to see her wear them. Well, let me see if we have them in stock. She turned toward the stockroom, then turned back to me. You're serious, right? I whipped out my credit card, smiled, and handed it to her. You can put them on this. No strings attached. She took the card and went off to the storeroom. Now would be a good time for me to tuck my tail between my legs and split. But she had my card. I felt like a fox with its leg caught in a trap. I was giving some serious thought to gnawing it off too. It took her a while. When she came out, they were laced all the way up. That's probably what took her so long. Those boots had plenty of hooks to wrap the laces around. Do you like them? Whoa, yeah. They look really nice on you. You're taller than me now. She considered this, looked at me and said, Not quite. You're still a little taller than me. Not if I kneel down. Yes, kneel before the Dark Queen Knave. I went to one knee, as Melody wishes. You still want to know how they feel on your back. Oh yeah, that thought has never left my mind. She looked around and saw there were no customers. We're not very busy. Go lay down behind the counter. I went behind the counter and lay down in front of the register, only I lay face up. I told her to go ahead and ring them up. She walked right over and stepped right up onto my chest and belly and started ringing them up. How are you doing down there? She asked. I'm doing great. I could stay here all day. She passed me the slip to sign and the card. I signed the slip and gave it back. She smiled at me and said, Okay by me. I work until the mall closes. She went and got a shirt and put it over my face and stood on me while she waited on customers. There were actually two other girls working with her, and they all stood on me whenever they rang up purchases. If any customer commented on me being there, she told them I was a dummy left over from Halloween that had creeped her out one too many times. I had a wonderful time. There were actually two other girls working that shift with her, and they had watched the whole scene play out. When I lay down by the register, they went around to the front of the counter and leaned over to watch me. It was kind of cool looking up at them when the first girl stepped up on me to ring up the boots. It was one of them that thought up putting the shirt over my face and the dummy story. They seemed to enjoy watching me getting walked on, and when customers did start filtering in, they stepped right up on me whenever they rang up purchases. When customers were in the store, they acted like I wasn't there. When the coast was clear, they seemed to enjoy my suffering. Only I wasn't suffering, and that seemed to fascinate them. They took plenty of liberties, let me tell you. As one of them put it, girls don't usually get to be the ones on top. They didn't tell each other what to do and didn't make any suggestions either. Each one thought up her own experiments, and the others would offer moral support. It seems to be true that girls will volunteer to do things in groups that you had to beg them to do in private. I was stepped on, stood on, jumped on, and prodded with toes and heels just about everywhere. The remarkable thing I thought was the restraint they showed. They kicked and stomped the hell out of me, but they never did any real damage. They took it right up to the edge, but they never went over. They seemed to enjoy the fact that I couldn't move or complain when the customers were there. Whenever one was ringing up a customer, she would absent-mindedly grind her heel into my belly or twist the ball of her foot into my groin or nipple area. And they took every opportunity to call on each other for help. They were always calling each other over to help with which register key to press for what. I'm pretty sure that the one who explained it to another girl needed to have that same girl come over to explain it to her when it was her turn to ring something up. They managed to all three of them crowded together, standing on me quite often, and it was quite hard to breathe at those times. They got a kick out of that. They would stick their tongues out at me as soon as the customers turned their backs.